Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Who's Doing Guyana Business Show. Today, I am joined as my co-host and guest by Coach Premendra Parsan, and I must welcome you to the studio and also congratulate you on being the new president of the West Demerara Chamber of Commerce. Congratulations, and can you tell us a little bit about the chamber that is operating on the West Coast?
Thank you very much, Vishnu. The chamber recently just got started back again. We had elections just last month. So what we're looking to do is to be able to offer support to the businesses in the region, given that Region 3 is going to be one of the largest or the second largest developing region in the country. So it's exciting times. It's an opportunity that I am so grateful for because it helps with the combination of best business practices and also offering that support to businesses in the region. So it's a passion for me, and since we've joined Action Coach for the last 5 years, that passion has developed. And so it's an opportunity for me to have that combination of best business practices and also the desire to support businesses in the region.
Thank you very much for sharing that with us, Coach Prem. Now, both of these roles require you to develop your leadership on an ongoing basis. Can you tell me what works best? I know that we're going to introduce some stuff here now, but what works best for you in terms of developing your leadership?
One of the things when I think about leadership is it's having that passion. You first have to have a passion for what you're doing and the direction where you're going, right? To be able to have that passion, I think for me, one of the things that I need to, or three things I look at, three things in terms of plotting that direction and that vision is first of all having resilience. Resilience in your team and resilience in the goal that you want to be able to achieve. Secondly, it is inclusion and looking at who are the contributors and making sure that you can be able to include everyone that's willing to be able to go with you on that bus in that direction. And it's also being that problem solver, being able to understand what are the issues that are facing that need or facing you, and then you're able now to present that solution.
Thank you very much. If there's anything that I love more than just learning, it's learning by playing. And one of the ways that we also work on developing our leadership is by playing games. And Coach Prem, today we have some of the games that have a wide range of applications, such as learning leadership by playing a game, learning communication as well for teams. And also, if you haven't ever played these games before, we have our sales edition. So people want to get better at sales. You could actually learn sales by playing the game of sales and also the communication leadership game. And what I'll do now is I'll take you very quickly through a little bit of the information that deals with how these tools really allow you to get much better at your leadership. As you just saw, leadership can be learned by playing a game, 90 minutes to a 2 hours game that allows you to really test what you already know about leadership and also the things that you do not know about leadership that you will get to learn, and you'll also learn from the people around the table. Normally, it would be good if you have 6 to 12 individuals, managers, leaders, colleagues that can play this along with you. And I would strongly encourage you, if you do want to learn a lot more about leadership, get in contact with us so that we can really help you develop your leadership in a practical way, very practical way that will allow you to get much better. For anyone who hasn't registered yet for our upcoming leadership conference, Leadercast Shift, that is coming up on Wednesday, August 11th, and it's a whole day event. So I'm going to put some numbers on the screen just now. Make sure that you reach out to us to secure your spot. If you really want to learn some of the latest ideas that are taking place, and especially with what we have faced with COVID and people having to operate in that particular way, reach out to us. You see the contact information on screen there. Register for your space at this particular leadership event. I think this is going to be the 8th leadership conference that we're hosting in Guyana. And again, fantastic thought leaders from all over the world will be speaking at this particular event. Now, there are the numbers again. Make sure that you grab them, take a picture, take a snapshot if you're watching us on social media. And again, Coach Prem, I would like to congratulate you with being elected as the president of the chamber, and Region 3 is where the gas to energy plant is likely to be situated. And we know that there's going to generate a lot of economic activity. It's already the second largest region in the country and rapidly growing. So any businesses that are watching us right now from Region 3, make contact with your Chamber of Commerce so that you can be part of the process of development. Coach Prem, how do people make contact with the Chamber?
So you can contact us on our Facebook page, and there is the email and contact information right there. All you need to do is type R3CCI on Facebook, and you'll be able to get our information. You'll see updates there as well.
Very good. And you know, viewers, this is our edition number 20th edition, 20 weeks in a row. We've been bringing business education, opportunity, live guests, recorded guests to you to make sure that you really get a lot of the needed information to make better decisions. We will now be joined by a virtual guest, Ms. Rodlyn Semple, who will be presenting to us on the topic of how can companies control externally provided products and services. Then we will be joined by Coach Keon, who's going to give us some education around time and self-management.
I am Rodlyn Semple, the ISO lead consultant at ACI Consulting Services. How do we control externally provided products and services? This is a big term. What is saying, how can we control what we purchase from the outside, which is going to be used in our organization? When you're going to purchase any item, product, or service, first of all, you need to have control. So how do we ensure that someone who is offering part of our activity, that they're following it correctly? Standard ISO 9001 requires the organization to establish controls. Controls can be established by providing that information, for example, in an agreement or a contract to the subcontractor or the external party. Another example you can use is actually observing or giving them that information face to face, however, ensuring that they clearly understand it. So when we're going to control the processes, ensures that a quality product or service is provided. Many companies have documented systems or documented instructions as to how they are going to control that quality. Let's say, for example, I'm an auto dealer. However, as part of my process, I utilize external electricians to check the cars before I actually sell it. So how do you ensure that the electrician who's going to check the car before it is sold follow instructions? You would provide that information maybe in his contract or maybe in his work duties. So whenever he's going to review that car, he's going to check the engine, he's going to check whether or not the stereo is working properly. He's going to check all of that before he actually hands that over. Let's say you're going to use an external party to conduct training on your behalf. How do you ensure that person is following the guidelines that are applicable to the organization? You would want to provide information to them stating how they're supposed to conduct the training, or you might have specialized systems written defining step by step what needs to be done. All of this ensures that control is applied. You need to evaluate how well the persons who are providing you with a service, product, or process is performing. The standard requires that. So in other words, you need to define what criteria you're going to use. For example, you can say they need to be certified. They need to have a quality management system implemented. They need to deliver service delivery 100% all the time. Once the criteria is established, you now need to define when is it we're going to evaluate them. I've seen some organizations conducting evaluation every time. Some do it periodically. Nevertheless, you are to ensure that you evaluate, reevaluate, select, and monitor anyone who's going to be providing you with a product or service that has an impact on your activities. For further information on how you can control purchasing, or you can control the services provided by an external party, give us a call on telephone number 501-0110 or send an email at iso@actioninvest.org.
Tired of the hassle of running around looking for solutions? Worry no more. WM Services is here. We specialize in heating, ventilation, air conditioning, electrical, and generator services. As a residential, commercial, and industrial dealer, our trained and licensed team is waiting to bring you peace of mind. Make the call now. Telephone 611-4326. Email wmservicesgy@gmail.com or visit our website www.wmservicesgy.com.
Good Security. It is our vision to be the leading provider of innovative and comprehensive security solutions in Guyana. We have a team of well-trained and disciplined professionals to protect you and your assets and give you the peace of mind to focus on what is most important to you. Our services include armed and unarmed services, consultancy, assets and individual protection, patrol, virtual surveillance, armed escorts, and cash in transits. Gupta Group, let our services be your advantage.
Hi guys, I'm Tamesh from the Islak Workshop. I'm here to talk to you today about the Syntec Rail. It's one of the very best in the market right now. First thing is, the viscosity is very rich. That is the very most important thing about the oil. The viscosity is very rich. It reduces engine eyes. I have been using this oil for the past couple months and the result is magnificent. I never get the result in other oil that I use, but the Syntec, it's very good. It is very good. I recommend you guys to use this oil. It is very good.
Welcome back. I will now be joined by Coach Keon Smith, who's going to take us through our education segment today. Welcome, Coach Keon, and all over to you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Doerga, and pleasant good evening to all of our viewers. We are going to continue our discussion on time. And during our last episode, we spoke about you looking at this particular asset that is called time and determining how can you create the habits to best invest your time wisely. During that episode also, we spoke about you identifying what are your top time wasters and determining how can you help to alleviate them so that you can really invest your time effectively. Now, I want to help you as part of that exercise to really create a structure that you can start thinking about your activities and where do they fall with regard to what we call our time target. The questions you may need to ask yourself: number one, are you engaging in activities that are not urgent and not important? These are activities that we refer to as distractions. These may be things such as playing games on your phone for an excessive amount of time. It could be scrolling Facebook, especially if you're not using it for a productive reason. Next question, are you engaging in activities that are urgent but not important? These activities, we can refer to them as delusions, where other people create urgencies for you. This could be someone calling you from reading or from doing something productive and taking you to walk up and down Regent Street and still you don't get anything done. As the first slide indicated, if you don't manage your time effectively, someone else would manage it for you. Sometimes we may end up in a situation where we have activities that are both urgent and important. And these are what we call our demand activities. The question you need to ask yourself when an activity fits this criteria or not is this taking me closer towards my goal? Because let's face the fact, there may be situations where we're not able to plan for every single eventuality. So when it happens, we can make that quick decision. Is it going to take me close towards my goal or not? So for example, if you are an entrepreneur and let's say you are in printing and copying, and someone calls and says, I need 1,000 copies of a particular book within the next 24 to 48 hours. That could be a high demand activity that you didn't plan for. But because you are an entrepreneur in that line of business, it takes you closer towards your goal, and it means that you can then accommodate that particular activity. Finally, it is important for us to think about how can we avoid these delusions and distractions, and even some cases, reduce the demand activities. One of the ways that we can do that is by operating within the zone, having activities that are important but not urgent. And we can achieve this by actually working on our schedules to book our activities so that we do not find ourselves in that position where we are between a rock and a hard place, where we have to make a choice between who should we actually make happy. I would encourage you to work on your schedules. So when you have those activities already scheduled, it avoids the rush, the demand, and making persons unhappy. As business owners, as business leaders, we encourage you to book your activities in that would help your business to grow. And this is what we call working on your business type of activities. So to think about this and to think about a time target and what is actually pulling your time, you would want to make sure that for the distractions, they take up less than 1% of your time. For those delusional activities, persons really pulling on your time, you want to keep it somewhere around 15% of our time. The demand activities, to keep it somewhere between 20 to 25% of our time. The majority of it, we want to make sure that we keep it in the zone so that we can schedule our activities and we can add to our productivity. So ideally, it is your decision of how you want to invest your time. To learn more about this particular concept and how you can actually utilize your time more effectively to improve your self-mastery, I'd encourage you to join our Time Rich seminar, which is going to be next Thursday from 1 to 4 p.m. And that is going to be on August the 5th. Sign, get registered, call us on 223-5583, and one of our team members will be more than happy to get you registered. Dr. Doerga?
Thank you very much, Coach Keon, for sharing that information with us. And I can see week after week, many more people are attending the training sessions. And what's most of the feedback that you're getting when people attend your training sessions, Coach Keon?
So most of the feedback, our persons are really excited to be exposed to the knowledge in general. And I think some of them go through a sticker shock as to understanding they're really in control of how they effectively use their time versus just blaming time in general. So it gives them that sense of responsibility as an individual to really be masters of the time that they've been given. It is how we utilize those 24 hours that will make the biggest difference.
Thank you very much. And I never get tired of getting reminded that both a beggar and a billionaire have 24 hours. It's not the amount of time, it's how we use the time. Now, correct. Thank you very much for sharing with us. We now have a video that is on the sales and leadership training that we just showed you that you can play in a game format. We'll just give you a little bit of a video on that, and that will be followed by a video from GCS, Global Compliance Service. And this week, they are actually telling us about the steps a company can take to implement their ISO management system on their own. Right? So if you are interested, if you heard about all this ISO story going around Guyana, just stay tuned because she will actually be telling you how you can become ISO compliant, and even certified on your own, right? So see you after the break, Cal.
Sales. It's the life force of your business. So get it flowing with the John Maxwell Team Leadership Game, Sales Edition. Selling is influencing, and John Maxwell says that true influence comes from connecting. Does the sales force in your company connect with its customers? Do members of the sales team hesitate to make calls or stumble when it's time to close the deal? Explore the nuances of your sales environment, discover best practices, and gain a whole new perspective as you learn from each other in this facilitated gaming experience. Your team will up-level its capacity for success as you discuss past disappointments, evaluate and reorient your routines, and define what it means to win. The sales game will reframe their mindset on the value they have in the organization and energize them to accomplish more. When you engage in the sales game, you will identify the action steps that will elevate the whole team to new levels of success and enrich your entire company by helping you fill the pipeline. The John Maxwell Team Leadership Game, Sales Edition. Up-level your sales game.
Welcome to Global Compliance Service Guyana Inc., your ISO certification body and registrar with a resident office in Guyana. Many organizations may be thinking of implementing their ISO management system on their own. Let me share with you some tips that you can use to ensure that your process is effective. First of all, you must identify the ISO standard that is relevant to your industry and to your sector. Basically, standards that your customers request from you or the standard that is most widely used within your industry. After selecting that standard, I will encourage you to select 1 or 2 team members on your team to work on this project. After you've identified those team members, seek training for those team members on the requirements of the standard so that they will be able to apply the requirements and have a better understanding as to the correct interpretation of those requirements so that your organization will develop a management system that will add value to your operations. After training, you can conduct a gap analysis. A gap analysis basically will provide you with a guide indicating to you where your company currently is, that is your current status, and the gaps you have to address to attain the requirements of the standard or become compliant to that standard. After the gap analysis is completed, you will then create an action plan, and you and your team members can work together to implement that management system. So that's a quick overview as if you want to do it yourself. For further information on our ISO certification process, call us at 223-6666. Thank you.
Shopping with Ali & Sons is now more easier than ever. Find your product, click Add to Cart, click Proceed to check out, enter your email, click Continue as guest, enter your name and address, choose your delivery options, click Continue, then click Place Order. It's that easy. One of our customer service representatives will contact you to confirm, and in several hours, your items will be delivered to your door.
Camille's Academy Inc. We are the premier provider for private education in Guyana, and through our mission, our excellent team delivers a well-balanced curriculum that integrates technology and innovation to our educational programs to inspire children to reach their highest levels of success. Enroll now for nursery, primary, and secondary level.
Check us out at any one of our 4 locations or contact us today.
Camille's Academy Inc. Be inspired to innovate.
ISO certification, a well-known key to securing international business and creating industry juggernauts, has now come to Guyana. Over 1 million certified companies reap the benefits of ISO certification. In a time where consumer dollars are more important than ever before, there's greater expectations for quality and trusted products and services. Quite frankly, top-tier clients demand ISO certification to gain their trust. No matter the scale of your operations, no matter your niche, there's an ISO for you. Global Compliance Service is a trusted, internationally accredited certification body with an arsenal of industry experts and world-class auditing teams to assist you throughout the certification process. Visit our website and get a free quotation within 24 hours. These are unprecedented times, and we need every advantage to stay ahead. Check out GCS personnel training programs, specializing in the lucrative field of ISO auditing. Our courses are now fully online, ranging from beginner to advanced proficiencies. Become an internal auditor in your organization, or a lead auditor qualified to carry out third-party audits and manage an auditing team. And for the elites, become a GCS management system specialist. We stand at the cusp of global change, and we are proud to be an ally in creating a new standard of business in Guyana.
There you had it, our show for this week. If you are watching us on television, make sure that you tell your friends and family to look out for us every Tuesday at 7:30 on NCN and E-Networks. And if you are following us here on social media, make sure that you share our content so that many more people can benefit from this knowledge, learning more about companies, learning more about business education. I look forward to seeing you again very soon at another upcoming show. Take care and have a fantastic week.